Hey everybody! So, Rudy did a stupid and she accidentally deleted her half of our original Cool World episode, so we gotta do it again. Thank. So, yeah. See, despite having not seen the movie again recently, I still remember just how bad it is. So, we gotta talk about this 1992 live action animated hybrid that is infamous for being extremely bad, but also for its troubled production. The film was directed by Ralph Bashki, and it was his first film in over a decade, so in over 10 years.
Too bad you couldn't delete your memory of this film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Ralph Bakshi is no stranger to what the F was that. Because even when his films missed the mark, they always had some amazing commentary and some creativity to them. This, not so much, and we're gonna explain why. Now, the original concept was radically different than what we got. It was supposed to be a horror slasher film in which a human had sex with a
Yeah,
cartoon
so
character
now this
named
is a
Debbie
rumor.
Dallas,
There's no way to like
play on the
100% confirm
infamous
this. But
porn film
there's
Debbie Does Dallas.
rumors that the
And
script
it
was
resulted
edited
in creating a
behind
doll that
Bashki's
was
back.
half
Frank
human and half
Lankesco
animated.
Jr.,
Like,
who was son of the
parts of her
Paramount
body and
president at the
facial
time,
features would
became
be live
interested in the
action while
project,
other parts would be
and he
hand
wanted to be
drawn.
more
And
hands-on.
the
And then
father
he had the
would
entire
abandon
script
the
rewritten by
child
Michael
into
Curtis
the
and Mark
cartoon
Victor, who were
world
best
since she
known
was
for the
rejected by
writers
humans.
of The
But
Exorcist.
ironically enough, she was also rejected by
So
cartoons
I want to
as
just say
well.
something.
And
I don't blame
she
the
would
writers
resent her father for
this,
making her
just
exist,
because
so
I
she would
think
go
they
to the
were
human
probably
world to
not
find
told
and
the
kill
whole
him.
story. Because we'll get into it, but it's like it feels like a lot of communication was not going on, and that's why we got the film we did. Now, Junior also convinced Paramount that an R rating would, I guess, not bring in money. So they decided to tone it down to PG-13 rating. We're also going to get into that later.
Mm-hmm. Now, originally, Baxter wanted Drew Barrymore and Brad Pitt to play the leads in the film, but the studio wanted bigger names, so they hired Kim
It also
Basinger
just felt kind
and
of,
Gabriel,
I don't know,
Gabriel
insulting
Byrne.
to do that to the
And
the
while
Hollywood
the role of
sign.
Frank
In my
was created
opinion, the
solely
Hollywood sign is
so
iconic, so I
Pitt
don't
would
know
have
why
a
they
role in
did
the
that.
film.
So the film was
And
a
even before it's released, the
major
film garnered
flop. It only made
controversy since
5.5 million
it
during
figures
its
so
opening
much on the
weekend,
sex appeal
and
of the
only
character
earned
Hollywood.
14 million
So much
altogether
so
against
that
a
a promotional
28 million
cutout of the
dollar
character
budget.
was standing next
The
to the
critics
Hollywood sign
objected to the
in California,
inconsistent tone of the
which
film,
angered
particularly
a
how it was
lot
too juvenile
of
for adults but
residents,
too
mainly
sexual for
because
kids.
uh,
And
the,
Kim
of the
Basinger, bless her soul,
objectification
she
of the
won a
character.
Razzie for Worst Actress for her role as Hollywood. Now, see, Baskey denounced the film when it was released, but he says over the years he's like changed how he views it. He said in 2022, Cool World had the best animation he ever worked with. I think he's lying. I think he's shitting us. Yeah, I don't know. The entire. Okay, so. I guess we're just gonna start at the beginning, unfortunately. Okay. So. We start out with Brad Pitt's character. He comes back. Which world was it? World War II? Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna take a shit, you might as well stand by your
he
shit.
and his mom were like super close, it seems.
Which is 1945.
And when we say drunk, they are beyond drunk. I don't understand how they got into the car, how nobody stopped them, because they still, I think, didn't one of them have a bottle in their hand?
Yeah, he was a World War II veteran.
I can't remember. Yeah. So
he's facing his mom in Las Vegas and shows off his motorcycle.
Okay.
Which he...
Yeah, but here's the thing. Somehow, Brad Pitt's character...
Yeah, but then this
is
drunk,
still alive.
On the motorbike,
so here's the thing. The mother dies, I think, almost instantly.
And it just crashes them into the car.
I do think that could happen, because I don't think she was wearing a helmet, if memory serves me correctly. But the thing is that she flies off the motorcycle. She dies, but she was the passenger. Frank was in front of her.
Yeah, I think so.
He doesn't die.
So
instead,
the mom's dead, and
he to the world of
and
they're
speed running for the parents being killed off in the beginning,
Whiskers.
And trying to outspeed run Disney.
Oh, I feel so bad for Maurice LaMarche. She's slumming it in this. I actually feel bad for like the professional voice actors, because we have, let's see, we have Candy Milo, we have, like we mentioned, Maurice LaMarche, Charlie Adler is known for his role as Buster Bunny. He was the Big Heads in the original Rocko's Modern Life. He voiced tons of superhero characters. Oh, he was Mr. Whiskers in Disney, Disney's branding Mr. Whiskers. And he was also... Was he both Cow and Chicken and Cow and Chicken? Dang. Oh, he did all the voices? Wow. And then, like, we got Candy Milo, who's a very, very prolific voice actor. She's been in Tiny Toons, SWAT Cats, Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo, Chalk Zone, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Mucha Lucha. And she's also the... Go ahead. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's currently the voice of Granny and Witch Hazel. Just it kind of feels like these poor voice actors are slumming in, and they don't have a lot of, they can't say anything, because if they say anything, they're gonna get fired. But I feel bad for them because they're trying. My life. So we have my first confusion. There's this Spike.
And My Life as a Teenage Robot, and she was also in a lot of Looney Tunes cartoons on Max, as well as voicing Junior Pig in the Day the Earth Blew Up.
What this thing is. Mm-hmm. It's very confusing. They don't explain it, so we're not going to question it, but he's like, hey, you're in Cool World. What the fuck is Cool World? Where apparently there's like an alternate dimension where cartoons exist. Now, this is an interesting concept. However, the movie doesn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, what the background is.
It's horrendous.
No, and especially when Brad Pitt. So expect us to make a lot of comparisons to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because when Frank first meets Dr. Whiskers, he's not looking at him at all while they're talking, like. The competition and
the thing is, Who Framed Roger Rabbit is the animation considered to be a classic. And one of the things is that the movie came out in 1988, my birth year.
Now, in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, they made an effort to make sure that the animated and live action characters see
really holds
literally eye to eye.
Amazing.
I like their faces.
And here's the thing: I've seen some of the behind the scenes
work
so
the actors would have something.
And I know it was probably hard because what they did is they had like
when they slip up. they
these poles,
animated
and they would
like
have
Roger
like a
stretched
tennis
up
ball
against
on
the
them.
wall
So
while talking to Eddie at
Bob
one
Hodgkins,
scene.
who played Eddie Valiant, knew where to look.
Yeah. So.
But another thing is that Bob Hodgkins in that movie, he's able to make it seem like he's actually interacting with Roger and Jessica and all the cartoon characters. We believe that Roger is real because Bob makes us believe that he's real. Brad Pitt's not doing that here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely. But no. He's just acting like he's talking to thin air. And then anyway,
no,
47
let's
years
talk a little
later,
bit more. But
we cut to an
I'm just gonna say this,
underground
I freaking hate
cartoonist
Jack.
named Jack Deebs, who
I really, really do.
was
They do
released
not.
from a 10-year prison sentence
It's
for
not
killing
just
a
that, but he
guy
has
who
no
was in bed with his
backbone.
wife.
He is
But
such
during
a
his
sniveling
imprisonment,
little.
he created a popular comic book
We'll
series
get more
called
into
Cool
it, but
World. And
so do we go back
which
to
was
Frank?
based on a bunch of recurring dreams he had, which prominently a femme
We have to use the wiki. We haven't watched this movie in a while.
Yeah, and we'll get to... No, you want to just get into it right now, you mean? Or...
Oh, wait. No. He randomly will transport to Cool World and then transport back. But then we get a little bit of world building because Frank meets with Holly. So I guess we're going to have to talk about this. Holly sucks, okay? She is a dollar store
see.
Jessica Rabbit.
I tried to black some my...
So for some reason, she's obsessed with the real world. Now, the thing is, this could have been very interesting. You have a character who knows about the real world, but they have never experienced it.
High-speed chase.
And they want to do that. However, the reason... Okay, Chad, why does Holly want to go to the real world?
As a character, yes. Mm-hmm.
Ugh, I get so... Dude, it's so obvious they wanted this film to be their Roger Rabbit, but they misunderstood why Roger Rabbit was good.
Okay, because
she really is hung up
she can actually
on having sex with real humans.
And feel
now, here's
things like a real
I love
human. And,
a woman who
oh wait, they don't call them humans. They have this slang thing where the inhabitants of Cool World are called doodles, and
fine,
humans are called
Holly,
noids,
that's
like
all
humanoids.
She talks about or seems to care about. She
because
has no
it worked
character
in
other than that.
Roger Rabbit.
She's also just a bitch.
No, she puts the fatale in femme fatale. Like apparently she talked about some fairy tale called Vegas Finney who allegedly became a human through something called the spike of power, which is never really explained its origins. And Frank, and I think it's around shortly afterwards that
makes absolutely no sense because the
Frank
AIDS
is in a
epidemic
relationship with a dude named Lynette, also
There's
voiced
not
by
a single gay character
Candy
in this entire
Milo.
thing.
But
I mean,
they
I
can,
really
despite
don't.
I clearly having feelings for each other, they can never take it any further because for some reason, if a doodle and a noid ever have sex, it will cause the reality to rupture.
So
Which is apparently
gets released,
supposed to be commentary on the fucking AIDS epidemic.
But I found it funny that he had an animation, an art desk in there. Yeah, I think I don't know but then he comes back. His neighbor says hi, and then what happens is he goes to a comic book store, and the girl behind the what is it called, counter, she's actively flirting.
In his
with
rent
him.
apartment or rent one-floor house.
I know, and it's we know that he can get to Holly, but dude, it's just so that's I think the thing is that he comes off as really pathetic.
Kinda. And he's too hung up on Holly, Jesus Christ, you have a real woman, man, go for it.
Yeah. This movie is so painful, I freaking hate it.
Yeah, he's just real pushover and...
I think it's supposed to be a
I'll just
spider, but it looks I don't think he even has 8 legs like a spider.
I'm just imagining that if he did say yes, the movie
me.
would have just ended at the 20-minute mark. That would have made it more merciful, at least, even if it just stopped. So... But, yeah. And Frank...
Yes, she has goons.
Also has
I don't think they have... One of them has a name.
Partner at the police department called Nails. This is some kind
the rest
of spider
of them don't, and they
guy
are so annoying. Oh my god, I hated these characters. I wanted to strangle every one of them. Just...
Yeah. So Jack is unexpectedly transported back to Coolwood again, and the Charlie's goons bring him back to the apartment.
See, the two these annoying ass pointless characters, they were rolling dice with this little bunny, and the bunny won, but they were like, "Hey, no, we're gonna take the dots off the dice."
I want you to remember that
eyes, which is
the
dumb, but
Frank Mancuso Jr. thought this would be toned down and appealing for kids.
So
and yet they still make
jumps
sexual references and have probably the most tamed sexual intercourse scene in film. Well, if you can even call it that.
They then go on a chase, and one of the characters, one of her little goons, pees on the police. Fucking hate this movie. I fucking hate this movie so much.
Because woman.
Dude, oh god. Okay, yeah, so we gotta actually, I guess, talk about the sex scene. So, again, we're told that the noids and the doodles shouldn't have sex. We're not told.
So I'm doing a brain
in Ralph Bakshi's original idea,
they
had this
like trauma trying to process what happened.
Human child. So it's don't have sex with a cartoon.
Bear in mind that Frank Mancuso Jr., the producer, thought
movie,
this
we're
would be
not
more
really
appropriate
sure
for kids
why
than an
they
R rating.
shouldn't.
And yet they still make sexual references, and Holly has
But like Frank
fully
keeps on being
clothed
like,
sex
yeah,
with Jack.
don't do it, because he even like confronts Frank. Frank has bought a fountain pen. Oh yeah, you're right, Jack. And that's apparently, yeah, it's a dangerous item in the world of Cool World. And this was an interesting concept because you can suck cartoon characters into the fountain pen. Because that's how they work. They got like this little thing on them, like a little switch. And it... Okay, but... So... Okay, wait. Okay, the sex scene. So here's the thing. This is PG-13.
No,
Yet
Jack
they
bought
try
a
to
fountain
have
pen.
a
Jack's the,
quote-unquote sex scene,
pushover,
but
and Frank's the Brad Pitt character.
she's covered the entire time. And I'm not really sure what she was trying to do. Like, I'm watching her and I'm like, sweetie, what are you doing? You're like squirming. Mm-hmm. Are you itchy? Is your tag itch you? Like, what are you doing? That's what it looks like she's
After that sex scene, Holly
and I'm also just gonna say this.
And...
I know Holly was drawn to be hot, but I didn't really find her that attractive. I am kind of biased because Jessica Rabbit was like my first female crush, but I don't know. Yeah. So, all right. So this is another issue we really have is the world building. Guys, My Little Pony films have better world building than this.
She's got worms and she's just doing butt
fan
scoots on the bed.
That has much better world building than this. The little stories I would write as a child, where I would draw the pictures and then have my mom write the letters, has better world building than this. Because the thing is Holly turns into a human.
I mean, it's a sexy character design, but a very bland character.
Nope. So, human... Okay, but see, here's the thing, is that would mean that, like, human jizz has magical properties in this world, which also doesn't make sense. So, Nails tries to bust Holly. Also, this outfit she changes into is so ugly and confusing. She's like looking like a high schooler.
Never explained, not because she had sex
her
with
hair's
a human,
up and she's wearing glasses all of a sudden.
Even
so she
then,
goes to tell
like
her
minions
that she's going to the real world. Nails confronts her. She uses the fountain pen to suck him in. And then once again, Jack somehow teleports them to the real world. Again, nothing is explained in this.
I don't want to think too much into it.
Okay. Jack finds out... Well, no. They're at Jack's house, yeah, and his neighbors... I don't know why his neighbors are so interested in what's going on in his life. Because they're like, hey, Jack, what's going on? And Holly, like, holds up an art of hers, like, this is me. She's almost acting like she's drunk or something. It's such a weird, bizarre scene. But then Frank in Cool World finds out what happened to Nails. At first I think he thought Nails was dead.
Oh, fuck,
and I kind of could see
yeah,
how he understood that, because they have one of those tape outlines. It's like, you only use those in murder scenes. Why did you guys do that? But, so, okay, this was also confusing. In order to leave Cool World, Frank has to be traumatized again. What? Yes, he had to remember what happened to his mom in order to get back, which is really weird. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get back to Holly and Jack. And this is, again, where I feel like so, another thing. If you do not have at least one compelling character, your whole story is going to fall apart. And we see that both, like, Jack and Holly are just
what? Is that how it works?
Again, Holly's just a bitch, and she's so unbelievable.
Oh my
stupid.
God.
I'm going to get more into that, but, like, They go to a club that for some reason has
Jesus
Frank Sinatra Jr.
Christ.
Don't know what he's doing here, but okay. So she tells them to play the song "Let's Make Love." They do it. Keep in mind, they don't know who this woman is. But since she's semi-attractive, they're like, okay. Then they throw Jack out, but he hasn't done anything. Then, okay, once again, now the rules of this world are not explained. It's not like how, like, in Spider-Verse, they're like, okay, so characters from another dimension, the reason they're flickering out is because something happened when they were teleported to our world, and if this keeps happening, they could end up dying. So all of a sudden, Jack and Holly are flickering between a human form and a doodle form. They've changed Holly's doodle form. She looks like a clown hooker for some reason. I don't know.
And
yeah, never explained. So they're trying to figure out their situation. Holly talks about the spike from Vegas Vinny. And then she pushes Jack out of a moving car. Okay, so here's the thing. The reason I'm so frustrated is that Holly's plan makes absolutely no sense. Okay, so she wants to find this spike. What is she going to do with it afterwards? If she gets rid of Jack, she has no ideas on how to function in the human world. She doesn't have a birth certificate. She doesn't have a social security number. She doesn't have a license. She doesn't have a house. What is she supposed to do? She almost like, so the thing is she goes into this hotel and starts, yeah, and this also kind of annoyed me because she's like going, like, do you know Vegas Vinny? She's asking all these random ass people. And I'm just like, okay, first of all, honey, they don't know who the fuck you are. Or 2, leave these people alone. They're just trying to have a good time at the casino. 3, if they did know Vegas Vinny, why would they tell some random ass broad?
She doesn't seem to care. Yeah, because she's all about trying to become human permanently. So
he teams up with. So Frank gets back to the real world. He teams up with
the Union Plaza Hotel. It's
Jack
called,
and his young neighbor. Also, do you guys remember that doctor from the beginning? He's back for some reason. Okay, this is where the film just really, really gets confusing, so buckle up, because, all right. So, Holly, in her infinite wisdom, she somehow gets on top of the Union Plaza Hotel and starts trying... Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's like
and he got stuck in the real world somehow. He couldn't get back to Cool World.
Yeah, I almost forgot about
There's a scuffle because Holly is trying to climb up on the hotel. She manages to trick Frank into thinking she needs help, and this cold-hearted bitch just pushes him off the hotel. She doesn't show any remorse. Screw this woman.
Doctor reveals that he's Vegas Vinny, and
then somehow Jack has powers.
Spike.
And the doctor says he's becoming a hero. He's fulfilling his destiny. When did he have a destiny? God, I fucking hate this film. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Yeah. I will say this. I have to at least give it to Nails for having enough sympathy to be like, I gotta take him back to Lunette.
And
I think that's like the only time in this movie someone showed a modicum of empathy in this entire thing. But, okay, so Jad, what happens when Holly reaches the top of the hotel?
And yeah, I think this is also when pen slips out of Holly and nails his feet and finds out Jack's dead and...
So, we're also not told what this whole thing is. We know that the spike is dangerous, but it's like, was the spike holding something back?
It turns her and into a cartoon again, and Jack transforms into this.
I will say this: at least Jack finally grew a backbone. Because see, what happens is he's got the spike. Holly is saying, "I like it here. I want to say, give me the spiral, Jack." But like this, this black ooze that came out of the out of the spike or whatever. I guess it says goody goody, and I think Jack realizes like, oh no, Holly's just being a lying hoe like she always is. And he puts the spike back.
Never
Holly
explained.
and the other tunes get sucked into it. The day is saved. Yeah, I did actually feel bad for her. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. And back in Cool World,
makes
Lynette
no sense. It's never mentioned in the
is,
movie. God, I fucking hate this movie
that
so
Frank's dead. And this. Okay, this
serves her right.
It's never explained. Like, she asked Nails if Holly was a doodle or noid when she killed Frank. And
I think, honestly, what frustrates me about this movie is that Ralph Bakshi had a fantastic idea.
Noids killed by a doodle,
and the people who are not the creative people, who are not the idea people, fucked it up. Yeah, like, the thing, this has also happened multiple times where it's like,
Holly's
the people who are not, like, again, not the idea people, the people who are, like, giving the money for the film, try to help with the creative process and they end up fucking it over. Now, here's the thing. Anyone can learn to draw, anyone can learn to write, but it's not something that's going to happen overnight. I mentioned how when I was little, I would write little stories, and my mom would make little books.
Definitely. Like,
and from that, I kept on writing.
The studio really screwed
I kept on writing and becoming better. Like, I look at some of my old writing, and I'm like, wow, this is garbage. And that's the thing, though. I had to learn to make garbage before I started making good stuff. So it's just like, I don't want to say that I blame these guys for wanting to be more hands-on, but it's like, if you don't know anything about storytelling, don't do it. It's just, it's so frustrating because, like, Ralph Bakshi had such a creative and interesting idea. But another thing, we mentioned how a lot of people were frustrated with the tone of this film. And I mentioned this a lot. I'm like, who is this made for? So here's the thing. When you're making, like, a movie specifically, you need to always try to think of who your audience is. Like, Disney is not going to make an animated horror slasher film. They're not going to do that. I mean, and if they did, they wouldn't release it under the Disney name because Disney's not known for that. You have to know who your audience is, and I have no idea who they thought they were appealing to with this movie. Like, at all. See, I don't even think any kids would find this interesting because even with, like, you know, oh, wow, there's animated boobies, it's like the story, the characters are very dull and uninteresting. But also, I think, like, again, also, here's another thing. Me and Jad are both raging bisexuals, okay?
Like,
we are
I
always
think
sharing
the
pictures
producer
of
was
our animated
was
waifus and
convinced that more
husbandos being
families
sexy.
and kids would see it
The
if
fact
it
that
was
neither of
PG-13
us find
rating,
Holly
but
sexy, that is a
even then, it's still too
huge
mature for
problem,
them and
because
too
it's supposed to make
dumb
sense
and
that like
juvenile
Jack
for
decides
adults.
to, give himself to her, but it just doesn't. Like, and it's like, yeah, well, she's drawn hot. It's like, okay, but what else? Like, like I said, Jessica Rabbit was like my first animated crush. Yes, she was, because in my dumb mind, I'm like, everyone's got a crush on Jessica Rabbit, and my friends were like, Rudy, no, they don't. They don't? No, that means you're bisexual. Oh, okay. So, the thing is it's not just the fact that Jessica's hot. Jessica knows she is created to be a sexual icon, but she's not stupid. She is aware of how she looks, and she also really genuinely cares about Roger. She goes through great lengths to try to save his career, to save him. Holly's just a bitch. All right. I honestly feel like the only way to have fixed this would just be to let Ralph Bakshi do his original idea, but I'm giving this like a -10 out of 5.
A bitch,
I
yeah.
felt really bad for like the animators who had to work on this. Yeah, that's why there's so many like random like animated like things going on. So
well, there was some great background art. It suddenly gets.
I'm also just gonna say this:
replaced
like,
by these
even if you really
cutout props,
really like bad films,
and even
don't
then
watch this one.
they weren't able to
watch The
salvage
Room
it.
or something else. This is just awful. There's nothing to salvage from this.
Apparently, the animators were never given.
And I really hope this is the last time we ever have to talk about it. I'm gonna make sure I don't delete the audio because I don't want to talk about this film anymore. I hate it. I hate it so much.
That had nothing to do with the scene.
Okay, so we gotta do news. We gotta get the sad one out of the way. So, for those, if you are new to this, I love RuPaul's Drag Race, and unfortunately, we have lost another queen. Jiggly Caliente is dead at age 44 after an infection that resulted in leg amputation. Yeah. So Jiggly.
Oh God, I'm gonna try to wash the taste out of this movie out of my mouth by watching Coonskin.
Jiggly got famous on RuPaul's Drag Race in 2011. She started off a little rough around the edges, but as she continued to be in the drag scene, she became a fabulous entertainer. Yeah, she had a health setback, and then she had to unfortunately get her leg amputated. So they think that what happened is the infection from that is what killed her.
This is just... Sorry.
Yeah, this one just really hurts because we've lost so many great drag queens, and all of them have like died so young. It's really heartbreaking, and I don't know. I just feel like right now, with everything going on, the LGBTQ community needs some wins. Okay, it feels like we're suffering loss after loss. It just sucks. All right, now let's move on. Yeah, much lighter. Woohoo!
Oh God.
All right. Do you know what Studio Ghibli Fest is, Jad, or do you want me to explain it? Okay, so Studio Ghibli Fest is a thing where the people who own the Studio Ghibli rights in America will re-release the old Studio Ghibli films in theaters. And they changed the lineup because there are multiple films. So let's see. We have Kiki's Delivery Service, The Secret Road of Arrietty,
Studio Ghibli Fest.
The 15th anniversary. My Neighbor Totoro, which is one of my favorites. Grave of the Fireflies, which I have not seen.
Can you explain it?
But yes, because it takes place during the Pacific War. Ponyo, which is the retelling of The Little Mermaid, Howl's Moving Castle, another one of my favorites, and one of my all-time favorites, Spirited Away. That was the first Miyazaki film I ever saw in theaters. And then, that is right. It won for Best Animated Picture.
Really heavy, I heard.
And then The Boy and the Heron won for Best Picture in 2024. That is also going to be reshown. I'm going to try to see all of these. I'm going to get my friends. I haven't seen Kiki's in a really long time, too. So it's like, I'm really excited to do this. And people are like, oh, you can just watch it on, like, streaming. It's not the same, guys. There's just something about going to a theater.
Same here.
It's just...
And it was the first Miyazaki film to win an Academy Award.
You can't beat it. All right, so, you know how I was talking about how the LGBT community needs a win? Well, we kind of got one. So, Robert De Niro is supporting his daughter, Erin, for coming out as trans. Yep. So, he said... De Niro said he's always loved Erin, first as his son and now as his daughter. To the legendary actor, he said he doesn't understand why there is a big deal about it at all. See, this is like, people are like, why is this a big deal? I mean, if you've been living under a rock, trans people, specifically trans women, are like constantly under attack. So having a big name actor, an actor who's considered to be one of the greats, coming out and saying, I still love my child. I don't care if they're trans. I'm always going to love them. That's a pretty big deal.
We need more De Niro's in the world.
Yeah. I just want my kids to be happy. Yes. It's going to be worth the wait. I know it's going to be worth the wait.
And let's see.
I know.
Yeah, if I ever have kids,
but at the same time, I'm like, I can wait. Definitely. I can wait. Let them cook. I can wait.
Same here. And, okay, and something I think I forgot to add last time around. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse coming on like June 4th, 2027. I really
hope it does, because I think it would be so depressing if it didn't.
Not this.
Because, like, out of all the film trilogies, I think this is the one I care about the most.
Especially, I remember freaking out over the cliffhanger for Across the Spider-Verse, and so was everyone else. And
yeah.
Yeah,
and I know, like, people...
this is going to be the final installment of the Spider-Verse trilogy from Sony Animation.
I think this year, but they then found out... I think it didn't, because the thing is like, people who worked on the film said they were, like, overworked. Yeah. And, that's been a big, conversation in the entertainment
especially
industry.
Especially since Sony Animations, they've been having the movies go straight to streaming on Netflix recently.
Complete bullshit. They're the ones making the movies. They need to be taken care of, and they should, not have to break their bodies in order to make money, in order to still have a job. Yeah. But I'm excited for this. I can't wait to see it. All right.
That actually did not happen.
Oh, yes. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. Ooh. It's gonna be called the Sanctum Lounge. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh. Oh. I don't really
And
drink,
something
but I want
I'm
to
excited
try
about
that.
as
That looks
well.
so pretty.
The Disney cruise ship is getting a Doctor Strange themed lounge.
That is so cool. Ooh, waffles.
Yeah, like the Disney cruise ships, they've been going all out with theming on a lot of spots in the ships, especially the lounges. Like this.
I will.
The
Oh,
Sanctum,
and this is not
yes,
the
and
only Marvel
they also shown off
themed
some of
area on the
the
ship. There's gonna that the Grand Hall
drinks.
atrium
Like,
when you
they had these
walk
really
aboard the Destiny
bubbly,
will be themed
smoky
to Black
drinks.
Panther.
And this.
Oh.
And what looks interesting is this one.
Man. I have a feeling if
drink
I
that looks
ever
like
go
it's
on the
served
ship
in
and
a
I see
wine
that
glass
statue, I might
upside
start
down.
crying. But this actually looks really cool.
Yep, and
I feel like Doctor
waffles. Your choice of
Strange is one of those characters that's a bit
custard.
of a. He's not like super popular, but people don't hate him. So maybe this is them trying to make him a little more popular. I mean, I'm looking at like the concept art that looks really beautiful. And I know that
it's gonna be Wakandan themed, and there'll be a Black Panther statue there.
Yeah, I think I do know for some people it was a little what's the word? It was Yeah, it was like different from what they expected. I think, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were. Okay, we're both excited about this.
Especially
now, I haven't seen this, but I'm
Multiverse
seeing this
of Madness
tomorrow with my
managed to
friends
outgrow
and
the
my
first
fiance.
film.
Sinners,
And I feel that's mainly
lead
because they
over
just let Sam
Minecraft with
Raimi
a
cook with
48
that one.
surprise in Easter victory. Oh, wow.
And weird. Yeah, like people said it was Sam Raimi Spider-Man meets Drag Me to Hell.
That is, I think, what's the main surprise. Because the Minecraft
horror.
movie is not like a piece of cinema. You know, like kids who love this game and people who grew up with the game, they're of course going to love it. And I even will say, like, I think Jack Black and Jason Momoa did really well, but like the thing about Sinners is not based off.
Yeah,
of
it was like the high end of the estimations. Like they were expecting that the highest at the most would be 40, but instead it goes 48 million. And then it managed to dethrone Minecraft.
And yeah, see, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. It says that the budget was like around 90 million to 100 million. Right now, it's made 181 million. So it's like on its way to making back its budget. That is really impressive. I feel like the thing is Ryan Coogler
Yeah, that's
has
what
had
makes it a big win. Like last time an original film topped the box office was
that, like,
Jordan
people
Peele's
automatically
Nope.
were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go see this movie." Like so far, I think all of his films have like positive ratings on Rotten Tomatoes. That doesn't really always happen. A lot of times, like you'll have a really good director, but sometimes, like over time, their films will get
And an even more impressive feat, in its second weekend, Sinners grossed $45 million,
which is
a
good.
mere 6%
Like right now,
drop
he's winning. I want him to keep winning. I love seeing a very successful black man in the Hollywood industry. I have nothing but high hopes. I cannot wait to see this movie tomorrow. Dude, I used to be like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, but over the past years, I'm like, oh, Michael B. Jordan. This guy is crazy talented. So yeah, like this is also sort of a big deal just for indie films in general because there's been this idea that, in order for a movie to be successful,
you're
it has
gonna
to be like
love
part of a
it.
franchise or something.
My dad, he doesn't
original.
typically watch horror movies, but when he saw
So
it
is
with
it
me
my
in
turn or your
theaters,
turn?
he loved it as well. And Michael B. Jordan, I was not expecting him to play two different characters at once. It was such a surreal experience.
New seasons of Hell of a Boss coming to Prime Video.
And I think it might be your turn. So what's making you say damn it, Rudy? Yeah, like, this was a bit of a surprise video. Or like, at first, it was an anime video teasing more Hazbin Hotel. Until, while Charlie's talking about it, Blitz does crashes. And announces that future seasons of Hell of a Boss, the spin-off, is coming to Prime Video. As Prime is actually funding production for new seasons.
There's like a running gag between our
the
friends
rights
group
were still
that
be owned by
I
50 Pop.
cannot
which is
stand
pretty
the
shocking.
Helpers. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like it. I've tried.
And but
I will say this: Hazbin Hotel
another
was
thing
not
is
as bad as I
that
thought it was going to be.
a month after they go
actually
live on
less
Prime,
garbage
they'll be added to
than I thought it
the
would be.
50 Pop's YouTube channel. Plus, they've been
So,
teasing crossovers
I am happy that
now.
at least they're still going to release them on YouTube because not everyone has a Prime account, and I know a lot of people who are no longer
This is
like
I know
supporting
me and my friends
Amazon,
are
so
excited
at
about
least
this,
people will
but
still be able to
Rudy,
watch the show.
not so much.
Here we go again. True. Yeah. And I mean, even though I don't like the shows, I wouldn't want them to have to, what's the word? Try to cater to what YouTube wants in order for them to stay on YouTube.
That
so
and
this might be the best thing
YouTube's
for them.
been gotten a bit
So,
Puritan and
I think this one's yours.
allowed and out and what's not. So I guess it gives them a chance to be able to,
Not sure how to feel
since
about
it's
this
on
one.
a streaming service, they can get away with a lot more they can't on YouTube.
Again, I'm not
Definitely.
sure how I feel about this.
Okay, let's see here.
Honestly, I kind of don't think I've seen any of the Predator films
Predator
now that I'm
kills the
thinking about
Marvel
it.
Universe
Have you?
announced.
Yeah, I haven't seen any
So,
of the
let's
Predator
see.
films. So,
Yeah, this
do you
is
think
kind of based
that'll
on
be any
a
good?
series of one-shots they've been doing. Like in the 90s, they did Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, then Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe, and now it's Predator's turn, as he just hunts down heroes and villains alike in this special one-off.
Yeah. I was about to say that it's like I remember some of those like Predator being
I only
in
saw
like the
Prey.
Marvel universe for some sort of
Like Prey was
thing.
amazing.
Like back in the day, those crossover events were super like.
Well, I heard some good
they were
things
kinda
about
rare
the Kills
because
the
they had
Marvel
to
Universe
sort of,
series, and,
you
and it's
talk about like
definitely
rights
gonna
and
be interesting, but
everything, and
we'll
figure
see
out
how
what
it turns
can and
out,
can't
'cause
happen.
We already got
People were
some Predator
very,
crossovers with
very
Marvel,
picky
like
about what could
they
happen
had
to
Predator
characters in
versus
comics.
Wolverine and Predator
All right,
versus Spider-Man.
So this one's mine, right? Oh, I was like, wait, Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, the other one, the live-action one. Spider-Man 4 gets the official title, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Is that all it has? Is it all? It's just title?
Yep.
Oh God, no! Oh boy.
And yep, and a release date, it's coming next year. And if you follow the Spider-Man comic books, you might be really about this, cause it's Brand New Day is the aftermath of a controversial storyline they did called One More Day. And And let me explain. So, One More Day was controversial because basically it was made by Marvel Comics editor-in-chief Joe Quesada. I'm not sure if he's still at Marvel. Oh, he left in 2022. Gee, wonder why. Where Aunt May is on her deathbed, and in order to save her life, Spider-Man makes a deal with the devil. That's literally no way around it. Sure, his name is Mephisto, but he's Marvel's equivalent of the devil. And Mary Jane,
it felt like
ain't
such a middle finger.
I should try to save Peter to make sure he will never sell sure that oh god, that it means that a lot of the history together has been erased and they never married. That pissed off a lot of fucking people. Like, yeah, like everyone wants to see Spider-Man and Mary Jane together. Now they no longer are, and they've been separated ever since in the comics. Like, this came out in... And then at Brand New Day is supposed to be the aftermath of that. With, is this the one that's written by... Oh, yeah, it's written by that asshole Dan Slott. Who basically made a self-insert of himself.
Stop torturing us like this.
With MJ. At least I guess that's what Paul is supposed to be. That's what everyone's speculating on. And...
Who cares? Dude, God, like Zendaya and Tom are dating in real life.
I am hoping that this is only Brand New Day in name alone. And
please, I'm tired of y'all just like
Peter and MJ get back together in this film, and just give the fans what they want, Martha. They want to see these two together. I mean,
I think this one's
Holland
no, it's you.
And Zendaya had amazing chemistry together. Then you just rip them apart because someone complained that, it's not exactly like these comics. And fuck you!
Yeah, console gaming might become a thing of the past at this point because... So here's the thing. I'm looking at the list. They have a list. Some of even the controllers are now going to be more expensive. But the most expensive one is the Xbox Series X Galaxy Special Edition. It went from $599.99 to $729.
So Microsoft is raising the prices on all of its Xbox consoles, games,
so much money you could be using to spend
and
on
accessories,
food and gas and other
Thanks
bills.
a lot, Trump.
As much as people love console gaming, I can't see anybody paying that money. Now, that is the special edition one. The other ones, I mean, it's not too... Some of these are not too bad. Like, $379 is, I don't think, too bad. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Yeah. Yeah, the gaming industry is going to have probably a rough few years.
Yeah, but the $80 price ISIS on games now.
This is also kind of why I'm sticking to my indie games, because I could get an indie game for under $80. I could get like 5 indie games or more
it still sucks.
For $80. I've gotten games that have costed
me and
like
John followed this podcast Gigaboot, and they say that
I think the indie game scene is going to thrive, but right now the rest of the gaming industry is on fire, and it's going to probably be a while until we put it out. Okay, so even though you read this one, I want you to read the next one. We're mentioning it anyways
regarding what the studio's
because Dad likes
should be.
this game.
Oh, wow.
Like the stories got mixed up somehow. Hey.
Teaser trailer for Twisted Wonderland. I really gotta get back into it. Like, Twisted Wonderland is set in this alternate reality where a bunch of guys are learning how to practice magic, and it's set at an academy where they view the Disney villains as the heroes.
That's it. It's just pretty guys everywhere.
Or twisted, if you will.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It focuses on this guy who's transported by accident.
I will say the trailer looks pretty.
And he has to make a home for himself as to try to figure out a way back for him. And he's joined by this little cat demon guy. Grim, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they probably just have to figure out who's going to be
main reason I got into this game, got a lot of pretty guys.
Okay, so...
I mean...
Rooty is like a little gremlin. She likes to collect things, and she loves
They also got to create a black butler
well,
to
since
design
we're getting
all the
a live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie, they have released this adorable
and now
little
it's officially becoming an anime series. Don't know if it's Oh yeah, definitely.
It's so cute.
Still no idea on whether or not it's coming to America, but
I have a popcorn bucket of Poppy from Trolls
at some point
because I saw her and like I was like getting my snacks for another movie, and I'm like, oh my god, what a cute popcorn bucket! And then the person behind the counters like, and watch this, they open up Poppy's hair. That's where you put the popcorn. So yeah, I'm most definitely probably gonna get one of these. It's so freaking cute. Oh my god.
Yeah, he still has the popcorn
go to a
in
regular
his mouth.
I will do it for the popcorn buckets. So it's a movie. I think it's going to be animated. I'm not 100% sure. So there's been like some, I guess, no, wait, it looks like it might be live action. So it looks like they also are referencing some of the characters for She-Ra.
It's only at Regal Cinema.
There's somebody who looks like Bo. Somebody who looks like Natasha. And I think another one is supposed to be Perfuma.
Didn't hear about this. New art revealed for Masters of the Universe.
But, yeah. It says, let's see, Nicholas Galtines will play Prince Adam. Well, Jared Leto is Skeletor. Yeah, same here. No, what sucks is Idris Elba's gonna be in this too, but I don't wanna watch Jared Leto. Gross. I'm skipping. Yeah, moving on. This one. All right. Disney reveals. Come on. There we go. Reveals menu and opening date for their new Epcot lounge. It should be open in June. So, next month, but reservations are opening on the 6th. And let's see. So we have, let me see. Okay, so we got some cocktails. We got a banana brulee highball, a brown buttered old fashioned.
Yeah, I think this is you.
A caramelized leek martini. Okay. Yeah. A clarified New York sour. A highbrow guys, I don't drink. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing these words. Batang. A peach shrub whiskey smash. A strawberry black pepper sour. And 4 selections of bourbon flight exclusive to Disney. Ooh, pretty glasses. Yeah, the glasses are really pretty.
Ooh. Leek martini.
Charcuterie.
Leek?
Yes. That means a plate of little things to eat. I love hummus. Yeah, you said that right.
Didn't know Disney made their own bourbon.
They're so pretty and
got,
elegant.
Beer, wine, and some non-alcoholic drinks as well, and a caricature bird
So
as well as
it is opening this year.
charcuterie.
If you really want to go, you can go ahead and make a reservation
sorry
on
about
the
that.
6th. But it opens in June.
Like,
Now, this is
hummus,
old news,
mushroom
but I still wanted
flatbread,
us to talk about it
truffled,
because
ahi
it's very
tuna, and a
exciting.
jumbo
So,
lamb
when it comes to Marvel stuff, I don't
pinto.
get excited as
And,
much.
oh, yeah.
But for those of you who don't know,
I love those.
I loved the
Those
X-Men
glasses.
2
They
movie.
look amazing.
And it's because it featured
I know.
my favorite X-Men, Nightcrawler.
And the bottom kind of reminds
And
me of the Epcot ball a
Nightcrawler's
little bit.
appeared in some. He appeared in
I think
another
was the
film,
point,
but
since it's themed after
I
spaceship
grew up
stuff.
with Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, and I thought I'd never see him as Nightcrawler again. Turns out I was wrong, because not only is Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, James Marden, and Rebecca Romijn from the original X-Men movies are returning, but so is Alan. Guys, when I tell you, I literally gasped when I saw his name. Like, they revealed it by those chairs that actors sit in and had all the names. I almost lost my mind when I saw his name. Guys, you don't understand. Little Rudy was the little Rudy inside of me was so unbelievably happy. All right. So I'm going to go through the list. All right. So, of course, we got Chris Hemsworth as Thor, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, a.k.a. Invisible Woman, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, Letitia Wright as the Black Panther, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, Wyatt Russell, who played John Walker in the show The Captain America and the Winter Soldier. He's also in Thunderbolts. Tinoch Hutters Namor, Iban Mosh Barak as The Thing, Simon Liu as Shang-Chi, Forrest Pug as is it Yelena? Boliva? She's Natasha's sister, I think. Black Widow's sister. Oh, Kelsey Grammer, another actor from the X-Men film, is returning as Dr. Hank McCoy, a.k.a. Beast. Louis Pullman as Bob/Sentry. Danny Ramirez as Falcon. Joseph Quinn as the Human Torch. David Harbour as Alexei Shotakov. Winston Duke as M'Baku. Hannah John Kamen as Ghost. And Tom Hiddleston as Loki, of course.
Let me look it up.
And then we have Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards and Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. So, Jad, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love Robert Downey Jr., but I'm still not sold on him being Doom. He might do amazing, but
So,
I don't know.
Well, I'm
And
excited.
I don't want to get my hopes up
it's gonna be
too much about
not
this
only introducing a
film.
lot of X-Men
Just because,
characters into the
Marvel's
MCU,
been
but also the Fantastic
really hit or
Four.
miss.
After
It's been more misses than hits, so
shafted so long by
We'll
Marvel
see.
because of the rights issues with Fox. And still not sure how they feel about Robert Downey Jr. being Victor Von Doom, though.
is it me? Okay. Melissa Berea comes to defend Rachel Ziegler. I know people are going to be like, you're late. Yeah, we're late with this because, I accidentally deleted the audio. But Melissa Berea took to social media to show support for Rachel Ziegler after reports painted the Snow White Star's social media post as a reason for the film underperforming. Guys,
So let's
I've
see.
seen
You wanna send
the
what's
film.
left?
Okay?
Oh, I think
The
you wrote
reason-
as this one.
The film failed is because it's
Melissa-
just kind of not
Oh, yeah,
that
it's
good.
you.
Because, okay, so one of my main things is that I really think they should have had actual dwarves play, actual little people play the dwarves, because the CGI dwarves look really weird. The only one that looks even remotely okay is Dopey, but God, guys, Gal Gadot was so bad as the evil queen. but like everybody jumping on her and saying she's the reason this movie failed is just really stupid and it reeks of misogyny. Yeah. But like also the thing is, it's just, it's, I can't imagine a young actress who's only been in, like, I think at this time she's only maybe starred in like 3 other films. There's no way someone who doesn't have that much like power in Hollywood could destroy something. I'm just saying, okay? She's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like altogether, she's only been in 6 movies. She's
Yeah, I
currently
swear the only reason they're
on
using her as a
in
scapegoat
London
is 'cause
on the West End
he
playing
supports the
Ava
Palestinians.
Perón in Evita, so she's gonna be fine.
That's literally the only reason.
Haters gonna hate. Okay, so I gotta go back to our old document one more time just to, I don't remember what I recommended. I gotta scroll all the way down. Okay, so I'm gonna go first, but then the second thing we're both gonna talk about because it's the same thing. It's not really surprising, but the first thing I'm gonna talk about is a indie point and click adventure game called The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo. It's very surreal, and I love it. I love games that are surreal and weird. Mr. Koo is just a strange little yellow man who gets cut into 3 pieces. That's why it's called The Many Pieces of Mr. Koo. And once he's cut, you think, oh, the game's over. No, you have to try to get his body back together as the separate pieces of his body. The art is really great in this. It's all like, it's hand drawn. And I love the character designs. The music's really good. I hope there's a sequel. I think there's going to be, because it ends with a to be continued. And again, I love little weird surreal pieces of art that make my brain go brr. And then for my second thing, it's also one of Jad's recommendation is Yakuza 0. Tell them, Jad.
Hand drawn.
The one that is, and the Yakuza are specifically from Japan.
Now, what is Yakuza 0, you ask? Yakuza 0 is a prequel to the famous Yakuza / Like a Dragon franchise. It's just like an action-adventure series.
And this game
inspired by
does a
the
really good
CD,
job of reflecting
crime
the time
game,
period through
mafia,
not just
known as
like the
Yakuza.
people, it's how things
And-
looked. It's like what they used. The character of Kiryu has a pager.
It follows 2 different characters. One Kazuma
also just,
Kiryu and the
it's
other
really
Goro
interesting
Majima,
because see, the character
as
of
it follows them,
Majima is kind of
on
he's
the bottom of
completely
the
different
Yakuza the respective
from
Yakuza
how he is in the
families
rest of
as
the series.
they soon make lessons for themselves.
He's
in
like they call him
1985
Mad Dog
Japan.
Majima in the other games,
which
but
is
in
still in
here
a big
he
real
looks so
estate bubble, by the way.
respectful and different. He's still a Yakuza, but like we don't see his crazy personality change until much later. And why they call him the Mad Dog.
Compared to how he is in the yeah. Oh yeah, like there's a reason why he is the way he is. So, and my second recommendation is one thanks to Rooty here, Shiroko and the Kingdom of Winds. It's a French animated movie inspired by the works of Studio Ghibli and Hayao Miyazaki, and it shows in the art style and as well as the animation and its tone. It focuses on these two young sisters, Juliet and Carmen, who are being babysitted by their mother's friend, who's a popular novelist. But while messing around in the library, they accidentally get sucked into an enchanted book and they're transformed into cats. After Juliet accidentally causes an incident that upsets a kingdom full of frogs, the leader decides to give Juliet to a songstress named Selma, while Carmen is sentenced to marry the king's son, and it's up to Juliet and Selma to rescue Carmen before he's married off. And the animation is just beautiful and creative.
I want to once again say thank you to everyone who stayed with us for this journey. It's been very interesting, but also a lot of fun.
Not that much talking,
I really hate Cool World, but I like learning about these films, what caused them to be failures, and all this stuff. But we also have watched some really great stuff too. Like, I wanted to make sure that with this show we didn't just watch
it's only 74 minutes,
bad
so it's not that
because
long.
we would be so depressed if we just did that.
It's on available for purchase on a lot of digital storefronts, and I highly recommend it.
And thankfully, we never have to talk about Cool World again. All right, so next episode is also kind of special because this was originally supposed to be the first episode we ever recorded, but we lost that footage. We're going to be returning to the Kingdom Chums original top 10. Get ready for animated cats singing about Jesus. Oh, yeah. Bye, everybody. Mwah.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Knock on wood. And adultery. Goodbye.